Thanks a lot for inviting me and giving me the opportunity to share some of thoughts which are very personal to me. Now, as far as technology goes, I'm a dinosaur. When people talk about machine learning, artificial intelligence, I talk about my natural stupidity because artificial intelligence is beyond me. I'm still learning and trying to understand. But what I'm going to talk about is which was important, which is important, and which will remain important forever. And I would like to talk to you about people. And most important, as you rise in your career, how to manage people. Now it's very simple what you do. You recruit, you retain, you motivate, you develop. But doing it is something else. So let me share some of my learnings as far as these are concerned. So I started as a management trainee with Ranbaxy, campus hire from Ahmedabad. I was there for 10 years. And then I moved to Eli Lilly and Company, which is a global pharmaceutical company. Incidentally, it is a pharmaceutical company which is the highest cap in the industry worldwide, about $700 billion. And it's among the top 15 companies with high market cap globally. Number one being Microsoft, and number two being Apple. But Eli Lilly is right up there. So when they entered India, I was the first employee of Eli Lilly. So organization structure, recruitment, products, packaging, compensation, training, we had to do everything. So I was director of sales and marketing, and my boss, Andrew, he came from the US, from Lilly, and two of us started this company. Now the first thing is recruitment. And then Andrew asked me, we don't have many products and there are no patents, and all our products have already been copied, and we have just 5 products and nothing unique about them. What do we do? So both of us brainstormed and we said, if we cannot differentiate what is inside the product or inside the packet, let's differentiate what is outside the packet, and that is people. Let's get the people who are best in the industry. And he said, look, apart from their knowledge and their degrees, can we understand their psychology? I said, what do you want? He said, we have some values and we want to recruit people who have those values. So he talked about respect for the individual. He talked about integrity. He talked about attitude. I said, Andrew, I can help you. And I took help of a psychologist. We use a tool which is called 16PF. And everybody that we recruited went through psychological profiling before we recruited. We had a written test, we had a group discussion, we had interviews, we had a psychological profiling. The joke was that it's easy to pass an IAS exam than to get into Eli Lilly. And I'll come to how we did it, but let me give you the end result. 6 months ago, the managing director of Glaxo, India, who is now managing director of Glaxo, Canada, managing director of AstraZeneca, who is now managing director of Boehringer, managing director of Roche, who is still there, founder, managing director of Eris Life Sciences. I was a director on that when he brought an IPO of $1.5 billion. All these persons started as fresh graduates as sales representative at Eli Lilly and Company when I was there. How did it happen? How did it happen? That's critical. How were we able to retain, motivate, and then develop people who could go out and contribute to the industry? I told you it was so difficult. We had all these things. We launched the company in 1993. In 94, I went to Indianapolis and I met with the president at that time, who later on became chairman, Sidney Tauren. So he was told, please spend 30 minutes. Here is a talent from India who wants to meet with you. I met with him and he says, Rajiv, you have started Lilly in India. What is the biggest problem you are facing for starting the affiliate? I said, Sydney, the biggest problem I'm facing is recruitment. And he said, there are 1 billion people in India and you are struggling to recruit? What are you looking for? I said, we are looking for positive attitude. He stood up. He had a plaque in his room which read, it is the attitude, not the aptitude, which leads to altitude. It was said by an Olympic gold medalist. And he was very happy that that's what you are trying to do. Let's move forward. We launched, we were in the market, we were selling products, and I came up with an award for we are in 8 regions, divided India into 8 regions. So I came up with an award for best sales of a region, that the person will be rewarded and awarded and felicitated. So with great fanfare, I launched that award of the region which will have the best sales. And then Andrew comes to me and said, what about people? I said, what do you mean? He said, where is the award for people management? I said, I don't have any award. And how do I measure? He said, don't worry. My wife is a statistician. She will work out a computer model for you. I said, what is she going to build? She said there'll be positive marks for a supervisor who is able to retain people the longest. If people resign under him, he gets a negative mark. If he's able to retain, he gets positive mark. And that supervisor who gets his subordinates promoted gets extra marks. He said, sure. She built a computer model and we start measuring. And at the end of the year, guess what? The team that won the People's Award was the team that won the Sales Award. So we had then a slogan, if you look after your people, results will look after themselves. So that is the learning I was getting, because Lilly was known for its culture, for respecting the people. Now, we were taught at business school, and which I learned later how to practice. There is a concept called Pygmalion effect. I'm sure all of you know it. It comes from a play written by George Bernard Shaw called Pygmalion, which was converted into a movie called My Fair Lady. Huge blockbuster. But what is critical in that movie is there's a flower girl who the hero takes and she says, I'll make him a lady. And she says, the only difference between a flower girl and a lady is that lady is treated like a lady. So the Pygmalion effect, and we were shown at the institute that it really works, is that people rise up to your expectations. If you expect your subordinates to do well and grow in life, they will. And that's the motto. That's how we started. I went to the US, spent time there. I came back as managing director, then became chairman and managing director. And I spent 1 year in HR in Indianapolis, apart from strategic planning and business development, because I wanted to come and have the processes. And one of the processes which I started was that when a person is to be promoted, we will not interview that person. The supervisor will come to a committee of peers. For example, if a salesperson has to be promoted to area manager, there will be a team of area manager, and the boss will come and talk to his colleagues why his subordinate should be promoted. So everybody realized that developing people is the biggest KRA for them. The whole company from top to bottom realized that this is what is important. Now, other thing we realized is that people are not looking only for money. They are looking for a career. So what we started doing, in less than 2 years of starting the company, all promotions happened, all positions were filled from within the company. Our biggest feeding tool was 90% of our people were salespeople. So marketing, human resources, clinical research, training, all the positions were filled from the sales reps. And that's where they felt they had a career. Lilly remained in India fastest growing company for 15 years. And I met some people in the industry. I was chatting. I'd never met them before. And they said, "Oh, we know you." I said, "How do you know me?" He said, "We know you because we heard your name because nobody wants to leave Lilly. We have tried poaching and nobody wants to leave." And 2 years running, we won the best employer award, #1 in pharmaceutical industry and among top 5 across all industries. And all this goes to show what you can do when you focus on people. Now, the last thing I share with you is I'm not alone in this belief. I was sharing when we were waiting for this program to start. Then one of the highlights of my life is that I met with that was ex-president 𝐒𝐔𝐁𝐄 𝐂𝐑𝐈𝐁𝐄, and he was a keynote speaker at Wharton, and I was also a speaker there. So there was a dinner on the previous evening, and we met, and he shared his favorite story with all of us. At ISRO, he was reporting to Satish Dhawan, who was his boss. And all of you know the story. There was a rocket which was launched and it failed. And Satish Dhawan took all the blame. And second time, when the rocket was very successful, he gave all the credit to 𝐒𝐵. So my own personal belief is that you can fool your boss. You can never fool your subordinate. Every subordinate knows whether my boss is using me or whether my boss has my best interest in his mind. So other things which I did, I'll just share with you. As a managing director, I inverted the pyramid. I put sales reps on the top of the pyramid. I said head office is only 10% of people, 90% are sales rep in the field. So Lilly doesn't sit in office, Lilly is out in the field. We told every sales rep that you are Lilly. When you are in front of a customer, customer doesn't know me. Customer knows only you. If you do well, Lilly is a good company. If you do not do well, Lilly is a bad company. And I told everybody that a sales rep is my boss because he brings my salary. And in this inverted pyramid, I said sales reps will evaluate all functions at the head office. They will tell whether HR is doing a good job for them. They will tell whether supply chain is delivering products on time for them. They will tell marketing is coming good strategies for them or not. So they will tell finance is sending their reimbursement on time or not. All functions will be measured and evaluated by the sales reps. And when the results came, supply chain came the lowest. I said, this will go into your performance evaluation. And next time when we did the evaluation, guess what? Supply chain came first. So you have to figure out what it is all about. Who are the people who are with you? And if you are, I repeat again, if you look after your people, results will look after themselves. I'll stop it. Thank you very much.